Welcome to the workshop. Current project is, well, it's a bit of a two-parter thing. First is this oversized friendship bracelet. The other is this lavender haze cloud with LEDs inside. These are made for little Ines, who is going to the Taylor Swift concert in Toronto in a few days. Ines has mobility issues, so her mom saw the work that we do with our Rolloween project, where we create these really elaborate Halloween costumes, and she wanted to know if we could do something special for Ines and her concert experience. I discussed the project with our volunteers at last weekend's informal Rolloween wrap party, and we had a couple of interesting ideas. But after some discussions with Ines's mom, because Ines will be wearing the lavender haze outfit, we came up with the friendship bracelet and the cloud, which will be suspended over Ines's stroller. She has an adapted stroller. It's incredibly lightweight, it's manageable, it's sturdy enough, and it's transportable. And as always, it's free because we're doing this on a volunteer basis. And apart from maybe a can of lavender paint and a primer or something, I had everything right here in the workshop. So let me show you how we got around to doing this. First, the bracelet. I'm going to read this off of my homemade teleprompter as I show you the process on the other half of this screen. I used a 4 1/8 inch hole saw without the center drill bit. Cut out a circle in some masonite as a guide, a template, so the hole saw won't skip around. My base material for the bracelet beads is 1 inch extruded polystyrene. It's this type of stuff here. I had some 24 by 24 inch sheets, which worked out fine. Put another section of foam underneath the piece I'm cutting to avoid tear out, and proceed slowly, but keep the pressure on, straight down. Removing the cutout can be a challenge. It tends to re-expand inside of the hole saw itself. I'm using a bandsaw at a very precise angle of something which looks right to me to give the beads a rounded edge. Yes, I do have scars, but I still have all my fingers after decades of working with tools. Then give it a very light sanding at another precise angle of something or other, and sand off the rough edges with a sanding block. Next, a hole for the string. I'm using this really sturdy stuff here. It's nylon braided cord. I tried using the Hotwire kit's pokey rod, but it made a bit of a mess, as did using a drill bit. What did work though was a type of rounded file called a rat tail. Got it right here. Here's one. Works wonderfully. It just bores right through. In my hand drill, straight through the center. Oh, a little side note to the side note. To keep my drill level, I was using a cassette 4-track to keep everything nice and straight and level on the table. In this case, I was using Van Halen's Women and Children first. And then I hit it with the heat gun. As you're going over the extruded polystyrene, you can see it like plasticize. It becomes glossier. It tightens it up. It gets rid of a lot of the rough edges. But even then, I did give it another little sanding after it had hardened and cooled down a bit. Heat gun. 2 coats of primer, then 2 more coats of glossy white paint. I used Affinity Designer. Okay, I gave up on Adobe a little while ago. And then cut out the letters on my Cricut. Juliette painted the perfect red hearts. Look at this. Beautiful. And then I laid out all those letters on the giant beads. Ines loves, man, does she ever love that. Taylor. And the 22 heart thingamajiggy. And I used this really sturdy rope and some knots to give it a bit of breathing space. And then I sent this to her family. Bad news, I'm going to the concert with my lavender haze cloud. And I'm gonna get that 22 hat. Yes, I am. So send over those tickets, I'm going. Of course, they knew I was kidding and they're super happy with the result, but they did have one question. Does the bracelet have those other colored beads, like the hearts and the stars and of course I made some. Come on. Yeah. They're really cute. Sort of some look like Fruit Loops, but just don't overheat them too much because they tend to wither, like these here. But this, green, red, blue, green, red, blue. Come on.